Questioning Our Beliefs, a talk with Unmani.
This is, of course, a fundamental theme for this path of waking up to the truth of who we are. It's all about questioning our beliefs endlessly. And it's not always comfortable or easy to question our beliefs, because those beliefs, many of those beliefs, have seemed to create a very basic sense of security and familiarity. And so when we question them, it can start to feel like the world as we have known it starts to crumble and fall apart. And yet the motivation to keep questioning our beliefs comes from this longing for freedom, for the truth, longing to wake up out of limitation, out of dreams, out of thought stories, beliefs that, although you may feel the comfort, the superficial comfort of holding on to those beliefs, there may be a deeper sense that they're not true and they're not what you most deeply want. So it does take some courage to question your beliefs. And not just once. It's an endless questioning your beliefs, because it does seem that even when you've been questioning your beliefs for years, that somehow they reform in some new, improved way to create some new sense of identification or familiarity. As if the thinking wants to create security because that's what it's meant for, right? It's actually part of its mechanism, its tool, its purpose is to be like a survival tool for being in the world. So as soon as you're in a new situation, the thinking will come in and create some assumption of how it is, or who or how you are. And from these beliefs or assumptions, the world is understood again. It's known. So now this body can come to some temporary relaxation because everything's safe and known and familiar. So the thinking has a very useful intention and a good intention when it does this. But when it creates these beliefs, it also overlays the reality with this other story. So then the reality, of course, isn't met. And often the reality is uncomfortable or not how we'd like it to be. So this is also why the thinking overlays it, so that we don't have to feel the discomfort of the reality. But if you long for the truth, if you long to wake up out of all dreams, then if somehow you find the courage, even bit by bit, step by step, to feel the reality in all its rawness, even if it's not comfortable, even if it's excruciatingly painful. At a certain point on your path, there's no longer a choice. But it is a matter of like, either you go on pretending that the reality is not true, and then you live with the pain of denying your deepest longing, or you face and feel what is truly here, and then you feel that pain if that's what's there. So sometimes it's a matter of what is more painful. But even when you're feeling the reality, the raw reality, at least you're not denying yourself and betraying yourself. So my invitation to you is to keep being loyal to yourself, to keep meeting whatever is here now, moment to moment. It's very simple, actually, even if it's not always easy, but it is always the most simple. You don't have to think too much about what is here. It's just what's here. Although, of course, there may be all kinds of defense mechanisms that play out to protect yourself from what is here. And that's when it can seem complicated or difficult. But the most fundamental belief, of course, is the belief in a me, in a separate me. That it is me that is experiencing the world, that I'm inside and the world is outside of me. And when we believe this belief, then the experience follows that, and we feel very isolated and separate. And then we long to connect and to merge and melt into the other or the world, really feel and meet the reality of life. And of course, in each moment, there is an invitation to meet the reality. But it does feel often as if there is this somehow requires a death of a separate me. If I really meet the reality of what is here in this moment, in this experience right now, then there cannot be a separate me in here experiencing it, because then there's a wall, like a barrier, separating a me from the experience. So meeting this moment, whatever it is a continual dying. And this is where the boundary of separation falls away now. And this is how life is experienced in all its rawness for no one. No one's experiencing, no one's living. It's not happening to or for me. And there is no boundary that separates a me in here and the world out there. There is simply the experience. And the experience includes sensations of this body, but also images and sensations and feelings and interactions and everything. But it's all happening here. Not for me, but here. Questioning this belief in a me sometimes can seem very simple, very obvious, very easy, and other times, as I said, like a death. this belief in a me seems to be holding up all the other beliefs. Because once you really question this belief in a me, then the other beliefs, they may still go on talking about me and my story. But when you've really seen that there is no me inside here, then the beliefs or the stories about me, they play out, but they never really have a hook into me anymore, because there is no one. It's clear to see that there is no one actually here. So then we can just see them as just another belief, another story coming and going like weather in the sky. Never actually meaning anything about a me. So yeah, it is about courage, the courage to question, the courage to meet what is actually here without any boundaries, to protect you from feeling it. Knowing that you are this sensation, that there's no separation. You are everything that is experienced right now. This is what you most deeply long for, to meet and to be what is here. And as we question our beliefs about ourselves and about life, about everything, more and more of these barriers fall away and are seen to have never been real in the first place.